Hello all, Mr. Woodhouse here, or Matthew Woodhouse. I'm the Year 7 Director of Learning, and this is a quick summary of the parent workshop revision session that we ran on Thursday, the 4th. So if you were either not able to attend the session, or if you did attend the session and wanted to go back through some of the resources, this PowerPoint will be shared with some of the links that are provided at the end of the session as well. Aims of the session were to understand why we assess at Bridge Academy, what we achieve as a staff body by doing this, and how it helps our students. Session was to provide students with practical examples of how to use the revision booklet, as well as practical examples for yourselves, parents and carers, to support students to revise. Apart from reading for pleasure, we know that parent engagement in homework and parent engagement at school is one of the biggest factors in regards to attainment and progress of students. So that is why we run sessions like these. And hopefully this little recap is there is something you can take away that might help your child at home. So going on to the why. So why we do these exam series, so a winter series as well as a summer exam series. It builds good revision habits and exam habits for our students at Bridge, helps us check that our progress is on track for all students, that everyone is meeting their targeted grades, and it gives them exposure to what a final exams would look like in year 11, and then some would be doing GCSE exams in year 10 as well, and this will help them to become familiar with spaces. If students have access arrangements, they get used to working with adults that may not be necessarily known to them, but will be there for those exams. So yes, so that's some of the reasons why I won't get into too much detail. But again, any questions you have around this, please do drop myself an email or Mr. Bedding, the Deputy Director of Learning. We can help answer those. When we sit those exams, so teachers will have a couple of weeks to be marking those, and then department leads will help us collate all the data. And then myself as Director of Learning and the Year 7 team will be identifying students who need more support and challenge, and that is in every different subject. We use the trends, which is our first dot point here, so that we can target any particular groups that we need to adapt the planning for. So it's a really good way to make sure there is equity within the different form groups, particularly in Year 7. So for instance, if we have a group, whether that's Blackfriars, Tower, Southwark, that isn't progressing as much in history, then we would look at putting interventions in place and identifying how we can challenge and support those students a bit more so that there is equity across the year groups. It also helps us understand year group specific understanding, and then how much support they need within their exam technique. So again, we use this a lot with our reading data as well. I know I say data strangely, so sorry about that. But it helps us understand what particular areas and what skills specifically, not content and recall, that our students need. So yes. So within your revision packs that students were handed in on Monday the 1st of December, so they look like this. They have the Year 7 winter exams page on the front. We're asking students to bring this in each day in case they may have a detention or they may have, I know a lot of students, Year 7s love the library space as well and do a lot of hard work during the day. This has a revision planner. It's a very small example, which you can see on the screen as well. So obviously at the top have whatever our normal homework is due each day. Okay. Now this should match exactly what homework has been setting. If you are concerned at all about homework, do speak to those class teachers about that. But in the lead up to exams, we message to students that we are doing a little bit of extra chunked study for each subject leading up to the exams. So tutors have been going through this with students. I will be going through it with students in an assembly on Friday, the 5th of December. But we're looking at, and in particular in Year 7, they might need support from parents in how to do this. So you add your homework from your homework timetable at the top. So we are getting that done first and foremost. Decide which subjects they need the most revision in. This is where they might need support. So they might believe that they are doing quite well in English. So we might not put English as so often in this example, but particularly if a student is saying that I'm not really enjoying maths at the moment, I'm not understanding certain topics, then we would make sure that that was something that we reviewed first in our top row. So we're doing these short, sort of chunked 30 minutes. We have a break, and then we get back to that hard work of doing that. If you have after-school commitments, so I know a number of boys and girls play football, it might be an after-school thing. We do message students that this is not a prescriptive, you must study for an hour each night. We fit it in with our schedules. We want students to still be continuing joining all those after-school clubs. There might be something in the family that you have a particular dinner every Thursday night, for instance. Still hold on to that time, but it might mean that you just add another couple of minutes either side of those days to help that extra push before an exam period. Okay, so students, we know Year 7 will need a lot of support with this, particularly with this first one. Again, this is very different to the CATs and SATs that students sat in Year 6, where there might have been some anxiety around those assessments. This is used for our planning and to support our Year 7s as much as possible, and really identify where the most area of need is for each individual student. The goal is that by Year 10, when students are starting to sit those real GCSE exams, they are ready to do all of these following things themselves, and they can identify their own areas of need. So that's why we are starting now with that. So in the session, we ran through a couple of different things. I'm just going to breeze through what it was. It might help if you were there to look back through. For revision at home, all students will need will be a revision booklet. It might be a booklet from class if they don't have the winter exams pack on the screen. And if we're looking at post-winter exams as well. Whiteboard pens are something that we use every day in class, or their jotter, which they are all provided with, and a pen. On page 5 in the winter exams pack is the English one. So we showed students how to do learn, cover, write, check. On the 3rd page of the booklet, there is some instructions on how we are actually doing learn, cover, write, correct. So you can read through that. The key thing that Year 7 students in particular will do is that it's quite hard to actually cover the work that they are supposed to memorize. So the best way you can support this work, and I've been through the year group in assemblies and in different detentions and different intervention groups, how we correctly do this revision technique. Really important that they are showing integrity, as I would message to them, and actually covering that work. Many will just, it's much easier to make sure it's not covered, and if they feel like it's getting harder, they can quickly look at the answers and start writing that out, and it makes them feel good. So some support there would be covering the work for them and saying, okay, can you now write down what was there from memory? So you can have a look at that on that page 3. And students do this quite often in different subjects. So they should be able to show you what that looks like. If it doesn't, you can let me know. When you're checking how they're going with that learn, cover, write, correct, we use whiteboards a lot in classes. So they are quick fire questions. You might look at the key words that they've looked at, whether it's English and it says, okay, what's the difference between a common noun and a proper noun? And then you might say, okay, well, what type of noun is Wendy? Give them 10 seconds to think. They haven't got the answer within 10 seconds. They're not recalling it quickly. We've built a culture of error within all of our classrooms. So we are making sure that it's not a negative thing that they can't get the answer now. We write that down, we look at it together, we ask the question again, what type of noun is Matthew, for instance, and then see if they get it, and then give that praise. And that's where we would say, that's a merit. I can see that you're working really hard. Let's keep trying. So you can go through those. Another thing would be flashcards, which we talked about in the session. So flashcards can be a bit of a trap for some students because it feels like they're writing, it feels like they're working. If you do spaced repetition, this is about having different cards in different piles. So you have a daily pile. If you get that daily pile correct, you move it into a pile that you only do every second day. If you get it wrong on the second day, it goes back into your daily. You then have a weekly pile that you might look at only on a Monday, a monthly that might be the start of the month, and at each section, if you get it incorrect, it means it's come out of your memory and we need to put it back into the pile and reintegrate it into our long-term memory. So the ways that you can support with this is you can help set up what those keywords, and again, in the Spanish section, there are lots of those keywords that Spanish are saying are important for our exams. So you can set it up, you can ask your child, okay, what is the English word for el tenis? I don't speak Spanish. They will say tennis. We say that's correct, it goes into the every second day pile and then continues until the last pile. If we get it wrong, it goes back into that daily. You might say, all right, we're good with going from Spanish into English. Tell me what a brother means in Spanish. The student will answer un hermano, or they might get that slightly wrong. It stays in the daily pile. Same for the next one, 25, 25. If they get it correct, it moves on. If not, that's okay. We like having errors. It's how we learn. We're going to put it in our daily pile, and I'm going to ask you that question tomorrow. Mind maps, I'll just quickly go through this. Mind maps can be quite hard. It does need a lot of support in Year 7. We would only see students at the end of Year 10 or Year 11 doing that. It's really important that these relate to real-world examples for kids, so they are putting and drawing things that they relate to. Should be used to stretch, should be at the end of a topic. So if a student is not confident in a topic, mind maps are not the thing to do. Here's an example of one for physics, which we haven't done in Year 7 yet, but we will be looking at energy resources. And then you're having branches for those particular topics and then further information with those there. In the session, I did go through an example. So you would do the stores of energy in physics at the moment. You would get them to write down on their mini whiteboards, okay, well, tell me the 7 stores of energy. Here are some pictures to help you remind you and recall that magnetic is one, thermal energy stores, elastic potential, gravitational potential, etc. And then I showed an example of doing that. Okay. So just some further things. Now, in the revision pack, there are lots and lots of different resources and websites. The ones on the screen now are the main ones that we find match really well with our curriculum at Bridge, particularly the topics that we cover. So BBC Bite Size, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with from primary school and Key Stage 2. Lesson titles across Bridge that you see written in their exercise books are often the same as the BBC's Bite Size topics. So please have a look through that. They sequence it really well, and it's all done in a very timely 30-minute manner for whatever that topic is. Educate and Sparks, you can set question on topics that you know your student is struggling with. English and Bedrock, please do look through there, continue that vocabulary, continue that grammar. Apart from parent engagement, that reading is really, really important for building subject literacy. We've got homework clubs after school, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Duolingo as an app on your phone, that'd be something you could sign up and have your student use for Spanish. And then the library corner, please encourage reading for pleasure. So for instance, we can look up on the website particular subjects, and that would be great. Feel free to drop me an email if you need help.